Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought it might be fun to do a little bit more of an in-depth tutorial on how I make my own fly spray because the fly and mosquito season has been especially bad this year, at least where I live. So I've been going through a lot more of it and I just bought more materials to make even more. So I was just going to show the whole process of how I make my own fly spray because it's a lot cheaper to make it and I find that it does work better than a lot of the fly sprays that you can buy already pre-made. So the first thing you're going to need is a fly spray bottle to mix it in. I get these at the dollar store. They're $3.50 now because inflation. But yeah, you're going to fill it half full with regular water. Regular old water. Spilled on myself. That is more than half. I can't do math. Measurements. That's still more than half because it tapers out a little bit. It doesn't have to be exact. This isn't like a science experiment. It's not going to explode if you screw it up, but I mean. The next ingredient is witch hazel. I get this in bulk. This was $48.99 for... It doesn't say how much is in here, maybe 4 liters, so like a gallon if you're American and you use the imperial system. Okay, you're gonna fill the other half full with witch hazel. And if you're smart, you get a funnel so you don't waste it. You can pretty much fill it to the top because what we're adding in now won't take up much volume. So that part doesn't really matter. My boobs look great today. Okay, so witch hazel I use because it apparently doesn't attract ticks. You can also use apple cider vinegar, but apparently that does attract ticks. However, some of the essential oils that I'll be using next do not attract ticks and they repel ticks. So I don't know if they cancel out the apple cider vinegar if you use them or not, but that's just something to think about if you live in a high tick area. There aren't a lot of ticks where I live, but I think that they're gross as hell. So I don't want to run the risk. But if you're not worried or if you think the essential oils will cancel out the tickness, go for it. So there's a lot of different essential oils that you can use for your fly spray. I recommend looking up whatever ones are horse safe and what bugs that they repel. So I'm using a combination of tea tree oil, peppermint oil, lavender oil, and citronella oil. There's a lot of different oils that you can use though that will work to repel all sorts of different bugs. My main priority is repelling all sorts of different types of flies and like the biting midges and whatnot, along with mosquitoes, because this mosquito year has been like the mosquito apocalypse. It's getting better now, but holy cow, worst year ever. Mosquitoes never bite me, but I guess this year there was just so many of them that were like, shit, we have to settle for her because there's just not enough food otherwise. So this year I actually have been getting bitten, which is saying something because usually I can literally watch them land on me and they'll be like, oh, this chick is disgusting. Let's not even bite her. See you later. And normally it might hurt my feelings if someone thinks I'm disgusting, but if it's this mosquito, I don't give a shit. So now with the essential oils, you're basically just going to use a dropper. One of these droppers is broken and it just falls out. So bear with me. You're just going to use a dropper to put a bunch of drops in. It says on most recipes to use like 100 to 150 drops for a bottle about the size, maybe even up to 200. Honestly, I just kind of guess because I'm not going to really count that many drops. So that was the that was the citronella. I'm actually going to put more of that in because mosquitoes. Okay. The other thing too is that you might want to test, like do a patch test on your horse once you make the fly spray or with certain essential oils diluted before you actually like spray them with the fly spray, because some horses do have allergies to essential oils and might be a bit more sensitive. So if you do a patch test, you can test to see if the strength of your fly spray is too much for your horse, because they could get welts if they're a sensitive Sally. This oil is the lavender oil. I like the smell of lavender, so I'm going to put quite a bit of this in. And lavender also repels the bugs that we don't like. The other nice thing about this fly spray is that it's like all natural, But also you can put it on people, because I know that a lot of the horse specific fly sprays say to not get it on yourself. And I personally am the type of person that just like puts it on myself anyways, because if it was gonna hurt me, it would have. This is the broken one, so we'll just pour it in. This is tea tree oil. So yeah, if it was gonna hurt me, it probably would have already. Fuck. So I'm just like, I'll put it on anyways, but this is healthier for your skin apparently, because the other ones are like literally poison. So this is preferable. The last but not least is the peppermint, which this one might have a broken drop or two. No, it doesn't. So we're gonna put some of that in. Okay, now they're all in. The next step, which is the last step, is just putting a little tiny bit of dish soap in. Like just a not even a tablespoon, probably like a teaspoon. And basically what I do is I just put on the sprayer lid, and then we're gonna give it a good shake to mix everything up. And you can also put, like, if you really want to get fancy, like I have some of the healthy hair care, horse hair care brand coat conditioner, and you can put a little bit of that in there to make the coat soft. I know, we get kind of fancy up in here. The last thing I'm going to show you is a hack that I recently learned for horses who don't like the sensation or the sound of the spray bottle, which is a lot of them. And honestly, I don't blame them, because I don't really like getting misted on by sunscreen cans and stuff, because it's cold and it sometimes tickles. So I'm going to show that to you, but I can't take credit for it because I learned it from Plants and Ponies on Twitter. Thank you, Gabby. Shout out to Gabby. Anyways, I got this from the dollar store, and it's just a scrubbing sponge that you can use to clean dishes, and it even came with an extra sponge. So value, it was $4. And it pumps soap out when you press this button. So what I'm gonna do is fill it with the fly spray that I've already mixed, and then I'm gonna use this as a scrubby to put on like the faces and bodies of horses who don't like to get fly sprayed on. And for people who will be like, oh, well, why wouldn't you just teach them to be fly sprayed on? You can do that, but in the meantime, until they're taught, especially if you want to teach them the correct way and not scare them, you still might want to put fly spray on them for their own comfort. So this is why we make accommodations like this. So I'm just going to spill more all over my desk because we already have. So yeah, I just did even. Oh, come on, girl. Oh, this one's an even smaller hole. My impatience was not made for moments like this. I could never be a surgeon. My hands are already shaking. And also because I've never been to med school, so. So, yeah, I think it's dripping because I spilled, but if it leaks, we got it from the dollar store, so that's just a casualty that we'll have to handle. So I got 2 because I'm going to have one for my home horses and then for my horses that are at other fields. So let's just spill even more on this desk because we've already effed it up as much as we can. So why not do more? And the good news is you'll also waste less fly spray if you aren't like me and you don't spill it everywhere by way of how you, yeah, I think they leak, by way of how you fill them. So yeah. So anyways, that's how I make my own fly spray for horses. It also works for humans and whatever creature you might want to put it on, so long as you check that the essential oils are safe for them. Okay? Don't forget to do that. But yeah, convenient way. It's cheaper than buying fly spray because realistically the most expensive thing is the witch hazel, which was $48.99 Canadian. So if you're American, that's probably even less, unless for whatever reason that costs more in your country. And for $48, you can make twice this size of fly spray in theory. And obviously essential oils aren't cheap, but they last so long. Like I still have 3/4 or more of each bottle and I've made so much fly spray out of them. I could probably make this whole thing and I'd still have plenty of the essential oils left. So it is cheaper because fly spray usually runs like $30 a bottle, and when the season is this bad you run through it so quickly. But also I find that it just wasn't as effective for me personally, and I find that this stuff works better and it also smells better and it's less chemically with like poison and stuff, so you can put it on your human skin without probably burning your skin. And like, I mean, it never burned mine and I did it for many years, but also like that's not necessarily the best measure of whether or not it's healthy. So yeah, I hope that helped, and I hope that this works for other people too. And I know that this hack in particular is going to be life-changing because, oh, this one has a crack in it. That's why it's leaking. This one in particular is going to be life-changing because I get in a lot of young horses, so this will make it easier to get fly spray and stuff on them until they're at the point where I can spray them. Because honestly, like, if you just try to spray them and make them suck it up, even if they'll stand well enough for you to get it on them, it's not going to help with the fear of the bottle if you just have to spray it all over them all the time and not get them used to it. So in terms of actually working and having it become a learned behavior, this is a much healthier and fairer way of putting on fly spray if they're really scared, as you move towards getting them desensitized to the spray bottle. But also, like, since these exist, like in theory you could use this for show sheen and all sorts of coat topicals. So this is a really good method because you're just wiping it on and it's pretty much just as easy. Like, obviously you can do it quicker with spray, but this is a really good method. And I think it's also important to understand that, like, even if you work with your horse on fly spray, they might never like the sensation of it being sprayed on them because some horses just don't like things. And if it's something they find uncomfortable, even if you can teach them how to tolerate it, everyone has their preferences. And I think as horse people, we need to be less rigid on like being like, oh, well, like in order to be a good rider or trainer, I need to make my horse handle this thing that other horses can do. If it doesn't put you out at all to accommodate them and it's not like dangerous and there's not a reason to really heavily work on it for like medical procedures and the like, you're not a bad trainer for accommodating your horse's preferences and doing what makes them more comfortable. And wiping on topicals if they like that better is totally fine and warranted. You don't have to use a spray bottle, and it's okay to do accommodations to meet your horse where they are currently in training. So yeah, these are your options for making fly spray. Eventually I will be doing a tutorial on getting horses used to the spray bottle. The full tutorial will go on my Patreon channel, so if you're interested in seeing that once it is done, that will be on there, and you can subscribe to there for as little as $1 a month. And there's behind the scenes stuff, there's tutorials, there's training help. It all depends on what tier you choose, but that's where I'll put the full tutorials. I kind of do sneak peeks that I'll upload here or to TikTok that you can check out, but most of my training videos go on Patreon. It's a great way to help support my business for like all the extras that come along with filming the videos, like extra filming materials and like stuff for the podcast and just general horse expenses. So I've chosen to do more of the tutorials there now, so that's the best place to go to get them. But I wanted to share this one because I think this is a really good one, and I found it really helpful when I started making this myself and saw how well it works. So I hope other people like it, and I hope that everyone has a great day. Don't forget to check out the products that I have for sale. My product line is on sale now until Friday, so tomorrow's the last day, or is today Wednesday? I don't know. Okay, it's on sale until Friday with code SUMMER. Everything's 20% off store-wide. That even includes sale items and the remaining samples that we have that are already priced really low. So if you're interested in shopping that, the link down below to order is in the description, as is my Patreon link and some other links if you want to check those out. So yeah, thank you again for supporting my channel, and I hope that this is helpful.